So good news. Simon Howard a few weeks ago said the hate speech bill would be passed before the Dáil or Jones before, I suppose, February or before the end of the year. Obviously, with the election probably in February or maybe November, we don't know yet. But Simon Howard a few weeks ago said, yeah, we're going to pass it 100%. We're going to just move heaven and earth to pass it. And I said back then, the Irish people would make sure they would regret it if they ever do pass. And I say it to them again if they do think about it. Thankfully, we have a good result today. But if they ever do think about doing it again, trying to bring this in, the Irish people would make sure Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael will not exist, and we will cease to exist, because we were just they'd be set back to the Stone Age basically, because it's anti-Irish and it's anti-democracy. It's about silencing people's dissent. It's about silencing people. It's about shutting people up. It's the same as the Soviet Union done. The same as fascist Germany done. It's simple as that. It's about silencing debate. It's about silencing free speech. And that's what it is. The Constitution of Ireland is very, very clear. You're entitled to do your opinion. You're entitled, as long as it doesn't, obviously you're threatening people, you can't do that, obviously, of course. And that's understandable. But at the end of the day, saying something that you don't agree with all these people coming in from Timbuktu, it's not hate speech. You're entitled to that opinion. You're paying for it. You're entitled to it. But thankfully, begrudgingly, they had to do it because there's too much opposition from every side of the country, from everywhere. Everybody's opposed to it. Nobody's in favour of it, apart from the elite, the World Economic Forum, etc., etc. These people, the global elite, you may I say, and obviously the politicians too. It benefits them because again, there's a slippery slope. As it says it said in the hate speech bill, they could come into your house without a warrant and take your devices and look through them. Basically, you have no such thing as privacy. They can come in and barge in and take your laptop and go through it. If you post a meme, they could come in with the OIC could come in and batter you up, etc., etc. Old women, etc., etc. They could do it again. It could be you, as I said. The director, the Attorney General, has said too. It could have been abused in 9 million different ways, and it could have been. It's a slippery slope, and it's the reason. And if you looked at that's why it never passed too, because it was so vague in what it was defining hate. Because again, it have to define it, etc., etc., and different procedures, etc., etc. And it was very vague. The hate speech bill. It could be abused in 100 million ways, and it's a slippery slope. It's generally a slippery slope because we see the power of the government. What power? They want to control people. They want to shut people up, and we do see it. We see it all the time. They want to shut people up, and thankfully this failed. It failed dramatically, because they knew people wouldn't put up with it. And I say to people, if they do ever bring this back in the next government, if it's a Sinn Féin, definitely Sinn Féin or want to bring this in. Of course, they're very upset probably at the moment too. Every party in the Dáil, apart maybe from Aontu and a few rural independents, all the other parties wanted to bring the wood up and down about it. But I say to any of the parties, if it's the Social Democrats or Sinn Féin, or if it's the same old fuckers, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael back in the Dáil in the next election, the best solution is not to ever let the public hear about this again, because it's better to forget about it than never bring it back at anybody's doorstep, because people won't accept it. And we will never accept it because it's about silencing dissent. It's about silencing people. It's about shutting down debate, and that's as simple as that. That's the end of it. It's shutting down debate. That's just the plain simple fact of this. It's about shutting people up, really, and to silence people. Now, obviously, there's such things. You can be offensive in ways to certain people, etc., etc. There's that, of course. I'm sure you will understand that in this incitement. You can incite some people on, saying to burn this place or that place. That's incitement. I understand that. I think everybody gets that. That's understandable. But just saying there's too many people coming into the country and that we shouldn't be bringing in the whole country. Because again, this is what I would have done. If only for me, like me literally saying that, now the OIC could batter my door down and take me into prison and lock me up for 5 years. Because we all know they would. And the same with misgendering somebody. Like, no, they would lock you up for 10 million years. And then somebody down the street goes and robs a place and kills a person. And they get off scot-free. It's a great country, isn't it? But that's what they wanted to do. That's generally what they wanted to do. But thankfully, free speech, democracy and free speech has been saved for the moment. But again, it's the fact of the matter too is we're living in a time, I suppose, in the world where I suppose people, and young people particularly, are taking, even just me speaking here, we're taking too much for granted that we can do this, that we can speak freely, that we're living in a democracy. There's places around the world where you can't go online in China, etc., etc., where you can't speak freely, you can't speak your mind. And it's really a gift by God too that you can speak freely, and the only person that can take that away is when you die, when you're free, when you go to the next life. God is the only person that it's your God-given right to your opinion, to your free speech. There's nothing in the world can silence you to it. And that's something we should cherish as a country. We should be very cherished, and particularly young people. We shouldn't take it for granted, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. And again, this is the same with the hate speech bill. We shouldn't take for granted, because again, there's people, unfortunately, in Davos, in the World Economic Forum, in different parts, that want to shut people up, that want to control people, that want to control what people do. And the same with the Irish government, there's NGOs, etc., etc., want to silence people, want to keep people quiet, want to shut them down. And again, that's what I say, there is people out there that want to oppress people, and it's in the Western world, not even in authoritarian states like China, North Korea, etc., etc. There's people in the Western world, our politicians, our elite. They want to control society. They want to silence people, and it's not fear mongering into that. It's the truth, because we see it plain and simple what they want to do for the last few years. McAtee, etc., etc. Want to silence people, want to shut people, want to lock people up for an opinion. It's 1984, but thankfully it didn't succeed for the moment. But again, as I say, we should be ready for if they ever do bring it back up, because the next government probably will, because they knew if they did it within the next few months, they would have been annihilated in the next election. But yeah, thankfully, democracy and free speech have been saved. Thank you.